Hello students, welcome to the third session of the chapter Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. In our last class, we had discussed the structure of the anther. Inside the anther, the microsporangium is going to present, and the microsporangium inside a mass of cells will be present called sporogenous cells which undergo meiosis to form the microspore. So in this session, let us study how the microspore is going to develop into the pollen grain. So that is the structure and development of the pollen grain. So the microspore is a small spherical shaped cell with the cytoplasm and the nucleus. This cell undergoes changes whereas inside the cytoplasm and as well as in the wall layers, and it is going to develop into the pollen grain. As a result, many microspores will be present. In the same way, many pollen grains also will be formed inside the anther. Anther is going to dehisce, means open and release the pollen grain. And this microspore, due to the formation of some of the vacuoles, the nucleus, it is going to move to the one side of the cell, and there it will undergo division, mitotic division. So here, as a result of the mitotic division, the spindle fibers will be formed, and these spindle fibers are called as asymmetrical spindle fibers. Asymmetrical spindle fibers will be formed, and these are the vacuole. Nucleus pushed to one side of the cell, undergo division, and as a result of this asymmetrical spindle fibers, the two cells will be formed in the microspore. And one cell will be bigger in size, which is called as vegetative cell, and the another will be smaller, which is called as an generative cell. And these two cells, as a result of the mitotic division, it will be formed. One is bigger cell, vegetative cell, which will be having a nucleus called vegetative nucleus, or also called tube cell, and generative cell, a smaller cell. So let me discuss about this in detail when we take up the structure of the pollen grain. So in this way, inside the cytoplasm, because of the division, mitotic division, two cells will be formed, and these are the stages of the microspore which will be developed to the pollen grain. And here now we'll discuss the detailed structure of the pollen grain as well as inside how the vegetative cell and tube cell and vegetative cell and the generative cells, what are the structure and how the wall layers are also present in the pollen grain. Let us discuss that in detail. So pollen grain will be released from the anther. So I know all of you have observed the pollen grain. Very good example for the pollen grain observation is you can observe the hibiscus flower. The yellow substance will be present near the anther, and that is the pollen grain. Generally pollen grains are small in size, which will be measured in 25 to 50 microns or micrometers. It is very small. If you want to observe that, you have to observe under the compound microscope. But when they are in mass, you can observe by the naked eye only. As a result, because of that only, in hibiscus flower, we will be observing the pollen grains in the form of yellow substance. And if you observe under the microscope the detailed structure of the pollen grain, and here the pollen grain, outside it is made up of two wall layers. Generally, in some of the size and shape of the pollen grain will vary from flower to flower, but the basic structure remains the same. In some flowers it will be spherical. In some of the flowers the pollen grain will be oval in shape. But in all the pollen grains, the wall layers and the cell will be of the same. And here, the outermost wall layer in the pollen grain is called as exine, because it will be present towards the external side, and hence it is called exine. And towards the inside, the another wall layer will be present, which is called intine. There are two main wall layers, exine and intine. And exine, it is very hard. It is very hard, and it will be not smooth. It will be showing some markings, some like spines like structure, that is called ridges and furrows, which is called in some region ridges and some region furrows, and those are called spines. And this exine will be very hard. And next, coming to the intine, it is smooth and it is continuous. Compared to the exine, it is smooth and it is continuous. And the exine is made up of a very rigid material, which is called as sporopollenin. Very important. So that is an sporopollenin. Exine is made up of sporopollenin, and it is very rigid. And even any acids or alkali, or if you even increase the temperature, that is temperature or pH or any enzymes, it cannot destroy the sporopollenin. So it is very, very hard. And in some of the region, there will be no deposition of the sporopollenin, because it is very rigid. Any materials, it cannot enter inside the pollen grain, or it cannot come out of the pollen grain. So this sporopollenin is very rigid. So in that case, if anything, if it has to move out inside or outside the pollen grain, there should be some opening. So in that case of sporopollenin, in some of the region it will be absent, and that point is called as germ pore. So where the sporopollenin will be absent in the exine wall layer is called as a germ pore, and through this germ pore, the pollen tube will be formed. Later when we talk about the pollination and all, there the pollen grain will produce the pollen tube, and there through this germ pore the pollen tube will be formed and sporopollenin will be absent. And intine, it is smooth and it is made up of the cellulose and pectin. It is not rigid and it is smooth. Any material or anything, it can pass through this intine. In this way, the mature pollen grain has two layers, exine and intine. Next, coming to the inside, that is the pollen grain. The pollen grain, as we have already told, that pollen grain has two cells. The one of a bigger cell, which is called vegetative cell, or also called as tube cell, which is bigger in size, and the nucleus, which is called as tube nucleus. Nucleus is called as tube nucleus, and it will be irregular in shape. And inside that, the generative cells, generally it will be in contact to the wall, but gradually it is going to get separated and it will start floating in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. The vegetative cell is bigger, and this is the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. And in that vegetative cell cytoplasm, this small cell will be floating, which will be in spindle shape, and which is called as generative cell. And here the nucleus will be present in this cell. Again, here also small amount of cytoplasm will be present, and the nucleus will be present in the generative cell. The bigger cell, vegetative cell, and the smaller cell called generative cell. And this cell will be floating in the vegetative cell. And this generative cell and vegetative cell, now how many cells we have now here? We have two cells. Because of that condition, this condition of the pollen grain is called as two-celled pollen grain. It is called as two-celled pollen grain because of generative cell and the vegetative cell. In majority of the angiosperms, that is in 60% of the angiosperms, the pollen grains will be released in this stage. The pollen grain will come out from the anther in this two-celled stage. Okay. And in some of the, then what about the 40% of the angiosperms means? In 40% of the angiosperms, this generative cell, it will again undergo division, it will form two cells. This undergo again one more mitotic division and it form two cells, and those are called as an male gametes. These are the two male gametes. These are the two male gametes will be formed, and this condition of the cell with one vegetative cell and this generative cells which is undergoing division to form two male gametes, and this condition is called as an three-celled condition. Three-celled pollen grain. Means in 40% of the angiosperms, the pollen grains will be released in three-celled pollen grain condition. Okay. So in for 60% of the angiosperms, the pollen grain when it is will be in the vegetative cell and the generative cells, the pollen grains is going to release from the anther. In 40% of the angiosperms, the pollen grains will be released when the pollen grain will be having one vegetative cell and two generative cells will divide into two male gametes, and that is three-celled pollen grain, and in that condition the pollen grains will be released from the anther. So after releasing it will go into the stigma and pollination is going to occur. So this is the structure of the matured pollen grain. So with the wall layers and the changes in the cytoplasm, the microspore is getting converted or developed into the pollen grain, and numerous microspores will be present, and as a result pollen grains also will be formed, and these pollen grains releases from the anther. And this pollen grain is also called as an male gametophyte. Male gametophyte. Why? Because the pollen grain, it carries the male gametes. These are the two male gametes. So it carries the gametes, and hence it is called as a male gametophyte. So pollen grain can also be called as a male gametophyte because it carries the male gametes. So this is the structure of the pollen grain, and this study of this entire pollen grains about the pollen grain is called as an palynology. The study of pollen grains is called as an palynology. So after pollen grains development, then it is the further process is the pollination. So let us discuss that in our next session. Thank you.